let's take a look at some connections problems. What is the correct setup for finding cost C of renting a boat when you must pay $30 down and $9.50 for each hour? They want us to use T for our amount of time. Okay, well, you could do trial and error here. You could say, well, what would be the cost of renting it for 1 hour? Well, it would be $30 plus $9 for a half hour, plus $9.50. What about 2 half hours? Well, that would be $30 plus $9.50 plus another $9.50. What about for 3 half hours? Well, that would be $30 plus $9.50 plus $9.50 plus $9.50 3 times. So notice our cost is going to be $30 plus $9.50 for each half hour. It said to put time there. So this would be one way that we could write a representation for the amount of cost you're going to have for renting a boat when your down payment's $30 and you have to pay $9.50. Okay, what percent of 140 students is 20 students? Okay, when you're finding the percent of something, you would say, well, first of all, what fraction do we have? We have 20 out of 140 students. From there, what you would do is divide this to change it to a decimal, because once we have a decimal, we know how to change that to a percent. So 20 out of 140 we write as 20 divided by 140. That gives me 0.1428 about. Okay. Then we would change that decimal to a percent. Move the decimal 2 places to the right, and it looks like it's about 14%. Okay, so first we wrote it as a fraction, 20 out of 140. We wrote that as a division problem. That would be the top of the fraction divided by the bottom of the fraction. And then we changed our decimal to a percent. Okay, the price of a gallon of gas last month was $3.42, and a gallon is $3.75 now. What was the percent of increase? Okay, so notice percent increase. So first we need to know how much of an increase did we have. Well, it was $3. It's now $3.75, and it was $3.42. Okay, so that's a difference of 33 cents. It increased by 33 cents. What percent of increase is that? Well, we make our fraction. So we increased 33 cents out of the original. Make sure you put the original and not the new price. The original of $3.42. We want to divide that to get our decimal. So you take the top divided by the bottom. Which gives me 0.09649. And then we move the decimal 2 places to the right to change that to a percent. So it's about 9.6% or 10% if you were asked to round to the nearest percent. Okay, here's our final problem for connections. It says to find the value of x. Now, you may not know what these mean, these colons here. Colon is a way to write a ratio, and another way to write a ratio is as a fraction, and the number first would go on top and the number second goes on bottom. So x colon 6 is the same as x over 6. So let's rewrite this with fractions. 23 over 138 is the same as 23 colon 138. So this is the problem we really have here. I don't know if you remember from algebra, but when you're solving this is called a proportion, when you have a fraction equal to a fraction. When you're solving those, we do what's called cross multiplying. We take the bottom of one side times the top of the other, bottom of one side times the top of the other, and leave our equal sign in the middle. So we get 138x on the left side and 6 times 23 on the right side. Okay, that gives us 138x still on this side, equals 138, because 6 times 23 was 138. To solve this, now we need to solve the equation. We have 138 times x, or you may be able to think this out in your head. So to get rid of that, we divide by 138. Do the same on the other side, and 138 divided by 138 is 1. So in this case, our x would be 1.